The college basketball experience pregame show for Super Tuesday, January the 14th edition on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with our promo code TCESGPN to get a promo code up to 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. That is the Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. Welcome, everybody, into the college basketball experience. Number one pregame show in all the land for Tuesday night, January the 14th. Happy Super Tuesday. Cheers, everyone. Loaded slate. Can't wait to talk about all these games and more. But let's get right into it. We got games tipping off in 24 minutes. Big East action. We got the SEC gauntlet tonight. We got some Big 12 games that are really good out west. We got the ACC. I'm sure nobody will be at those games per usual. And we got the Big Ten on sorry-ass Peacock. So let's talk about all these games first. I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. It tastes good tonight. Tastes like victory. I can feel a new wave here coming tonight. Hopefully Pick Dundee gets a new wave too. All-time bad night. I told him tonight's a new night, baby. So let's get into it. But joining me first, the Pump Fake Pod. Let's start in the state of who plays first tonight? Indiana plays in the first leg of the doubleheader, then Wisconsin. So we'll start in Indiana. You guys know him as Michael_Huffer3. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, Mac? Yeah, it wasn't the best night. Barely survived on Monday, but this night is what you prepare for as a college basketball fan. Packs a punch of a slate, and every game kind of brings a different energy, and I'm excited for this one.
No doubt, indeed. And then in the nightcap, we got the Buckeyes and we got the Badgers. This guy's a Badger himself. He likes his Packers. He is Sully picks. Trev, what's up, man?
Not much. Yeah, not a great day yesterday, but today's slate's awesome. We're gonna bounce back and have ourselves a fucking night here.
Mondays suck. I mean, we didn't even have our fucking. Just because the NFL playoffs. Like, why can't we throw a Big 12 game? Like, what happened to our Big Mondays? With the way that the football schedule is, we only get 4 weeks of Big Mondays now because, we got Ohio State, Notre Dame next week, and then finally starting the 27th, which is already the end of January, we don't get a true Big Monday, which sucks because Big Mondays growing up was the OG. So they got to get that fixed. Call Moneyline Mac. I'll fix his fucking shit right away. But let's get in the first one here. Tip it off in 22 minutes. Let's go to the Big East. Where did Beanick put the brands tonight? There we go. Nova going to Xavier. This line, is it still 2.5? I know it opened at 3.5, 3. Bounced down to 2.5 here. Back up to 3. Got Villanova been playing good ball under Kyle Neptune, finding themselves. Eric Dixon, I think, is the reason why they're playing good ball. I don't know how good the rest of the team is. Xavier, on the other hand, got off the schneid, won at DePaul. I really like Xavier here. I think Xavier back at home, ride the momentum from the DePaul game. Villanova, I think, has overachieved over the last couple weeks. I think Sean Miller and company are going to protect home court here in the Big East. I'll take Xavier, lay the 2.5. Mike, how about you?
Yeah, I did not bet this last night. I ended up picking Villanova just because Xavier has been one of those teams where if I bet on them, they don't show up. And if I bet against them, they show up in the Cintas Center. So I went ahead and just picked Villanova with my gut with no really good feel. But I do think the spot leans towards Xavier with the short spread is a little alarming. And it is a bounce back spot for them.
Yeah, spread screams Xavier. I can't stand the Xavier team. They're starting to turn into a Butler 2.0 for me here. Not a big fan of them, but I mean, this is their spot. I mean, Villanova, they got to drop a few games after that hot stretch they've had. They dropped the St. John's game, but they were in it late. They played hard. So I would sway Xavier. If I had to play something in this game, gun to my head, I would maybe just take Eric Dixon 3s, 3+. It's plus 110. I don't really like the value on it, so I didn't play it, but he gets, 8 to 10 shots up a game. He's shooting 47% from 3. So I don't hate it. So that's how I would play this game if I had to.
All righty, let's go over to the hottest team in the ACC, I guess, other than Duke. Louisville, coming off the big win at Pitt on Saturday. It was absolutely fantastic watching them win here. They're going to the Carrier Dome, and this line has come up. It was 6.5, 7 last night, up to 8.5 in some spots here. I'll be a sucker. I'll take the home dog. Spot Syracuse for sure. Louisville, winners of 5 in a row. I know they're freaking making every damn jump shot, it feels like, whenever they play. But Carrier Dome, tough turnaround here from Saturday, back-to-back road spot. Syracuse more healthy. I think the Cuse get it done here. I think they may win the game outright, to be honest.
Yeah, Mac, my dog was barking last night for Wofford, and what was that? Got all the way up to like 7.5, right? Same spread, and my dog is going crazy right now, so I'll take Syracuse on that standalone principle that I have here on the pregame show. But it also is a sleepy spot for Louisville. You got to think that they come out maybe playing and running through the motions and playing with their food a little bit. Versus a team that they're definitely superior to, but it is a get-up spot for a team that's starting to play a little better than Syracuse. So, yeah, I'll take the 8.5, 7.
Yeah, I didn't play this game, but I just don't really care for the spot for Louisville. You just beat Pittsburgh on the road. You've got North Carolina, Virginia, Clemson. You've been on a stretch of good wins here, some tough road spots. This feels like a game Syracuse is live late. Maybe they lose by 3 or 4. Don't make some shots and fouls. Let Louisville win the game. But I laid off this game entirely. But I would play Syracuse over Louisville if I had to.
All righty, baby. We all agree there. Let's pay the bills real quick, because over here at the College Experience, well, first, get on over there, download the app for free picks, contests, and much more. All our podcasts over there. And make sure you subscribe, because I'm trying to get to 20K now that we shattered that 15K goal. We are also brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, baby. If you want to get down on some Syracuse or Xavier, do so over at DraftKings and use our promo code SGP. Everybody knows DraftKings. It's the OG of sportsbooks, legalized sportsbooks, that is. Number one place to place touchdowns if you want to play the NFL. If you want to do your first bet for touchdown bets, they got everything over there. And they got really good college basketball stuff too. And, of course, if you have a gambling problem, please call.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Gambling problem?
There you go. And we are also brought to you by Stake.us. We've partnered up, baby, America's ultimate social casino with Stake.us. Free to play social casino, available in most states, including California, Texas, and more. And use our code SGPN. That's Stake.us, promo code SGPN. And last but not least, we're brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. The promo code is right above Huff's head, TCESGPN. Get on over there. What are you waiting for? They got the best player props, and get down on some action, stack winners on top of winners. What is our Underdog entry tonight? Huff, you lead it off.
I'm going to work a little backwards and go to the later part of the slate. I don't trust this Ohio State team on the road. The only thing that scares me against this play would be that he's their main producer, but I just expect trouble, and I think this line is just a little too high. So I will take the lower 15.5 Bruce Thornton points. I think it's going to stay around 12 or 13. It will be a little sweaty, but I just think that line is just a little too high.
Yeah, my first one I'm going to go with is Mark Sears higher points. It's 21.5. I just had it up here. I think he's gone over this number, I think 4 straight, like 23, 22. So he's scoring a lot of points. He's really started to click as of late. I think big game at home. The spread's getting kind of big, so I'm thinking it's kind of going to be an Alabama by 15 plus here. So I think he's going to really get going tonight and score some points. I mean, he's had 27, 22, 22, and 20 his last 4 games. So I think he's starting to roll, and I like his higher than 20.5.
All righty. Back to you, Huff, for leg number 3.
Yeah, I just was pulling up the number. I will go with a higher on rebounds and in the later slate as well. Give me Owen Freeman on a return game higher than 7.5 rebounds. I expect him to kind of win that battle down low. It's going to be a fun battle against USC. Maybe I don't like Iowa, but it's prop.
In the finale.
My second one, my guy Elijah Martin, higher than 2.5 3-pointers made. Missouri in conference play is allowing 44% shooting from 3. 36% of total points they're allowing on defense comes from 3. And Martin has got some volume as of late. I mean, 7, 5, 12, 9, and 12 his last 4 of his last 6. And he's hit this number in 3 of those. So I think he's going to be able to have a good night here. And Florida just steamrolls Missouri, and he's going to put up 3 or 4 threes.
Get on over there, Underdog Fantasy, baby. Promo code TCESGPN. All right, let's continue on in this beautiful, beautiful slate here. Next up on the dock, we got maybe I don't even know what the game of the night is, to be honest. You can make an argument for any of these 3 SEC games. But first one, Hail State, Auburn. Line has stuck. Is it still 7.5? Yeah. Down to 7? Nah, 7.5. I think Mississippi State's going to win outright. I like, you know me, man. I like to fade the new number 1. Auburn gets the number 1 ranking yesterday, shorthanded without Broom. I know you get a 1-game pop-up spot every now and then without the star, but you're also getting the worst defensive effort from a Chris Jans team coming off Saturday. So super focused effort here. I think Hail State all-in battle here, and I think they got a shot to win it, maybe win the game outright at the end. Give me Hail State in the points. Love them tonight to just keep this within that 7.5 and maybe win outright. I think Auburn has trouble guarding them tonight.
Yeah, to say too many points for Auburn is tough for me. Fading Auburn in the jungle, but I'd have to agree. I think Mississippi State gets up for this spot, especially off the loss, like you mentioned, and Auburn. I think this will be a 1-possession game for majority of the game on my cap, and Auburn's won 8 in a row. They've been pretty dominant at home, so I expect maybe a slip up here, and they still can win the game and be. And Mississippi State covers the spread. I just think it's a little too many points. It's a great number.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is Mississippi State's best chance to really knock down Auburn at home, obviously. I mean, no Janai Broom, but they're off the loss. This is Chris Jan's best team he's had in Mississippi State, in my opinion. This team plays pace. Their offense is really good. They play great defense. They rebound. So I think they have a chance. I don't know if maybe to win. It's college basketball. Anything could happen, but I think it's a tight game, and then it comes down the stretch, the last couple minutes, who makes their shots, and then free throws. So I think 7.5 is a bit too much. This is just the best opportunity they're going to get to knock off Auburn at home. So I think they're going to play them real tight.
Question for you: how does Memphis compare to Auburn without Broom?
Memphis
similarities.
Yeah,
not a lot of structure. Very athletic, talented.
Yeah, I'm really just curious to see how they'll operate without Broom. I mean, he does so much for that team, offensively and defensively and on the glass. So I'm just curious to see how they'll handle it without him. Full couple days to prepare without him too. So you got to imagine they'll be ready to an extent, but that's still a huge loss for that team.
ESPN will be talking about it all the whole game. Dylan Cardwell from the bench. I expect Bruce Pearl to probably game plan up something. I mean, but Chris Jan's a good coach too. So yeah, this will be an interesting game for sure without Broom.
Yeah, KenPom also has his 13. You got to imagine they're not baking in Broom being out, obviously, but that's a lot of points just for one guy to be affecting the potential spread according to KenPom.
Yeah, what do you think Broom's worth? 3?
3 at most. I mean, it's still a team game, but he does so much for that team. I mean, his loss is going to be noticed. I mean, you're going to notice him not out there tonight. That's for sure.
The line says Mississippi State. This is by far the shortest Auburn has been a favorite at home.
Yeah,
and honestly, quite a while. I mean, last year they were favored against Kentucky at home by like 11 or 12. So yeah, let's go. The other game between Mississippi and Alabama. This one's the Rebels. This one's the Tide. This one's going to be fun. And I think Ole Miss is live, to be honest, in this game. I think Alabama has been playing out of their mind the last couple weeks. I know, just like the jungle, it is going to be lit in there. But I don't think Beard and company are just going to say, all right, yeah, we're going to run and gun with Alabama. I think they're going to try and muck it up, drag it into the mud, dictate the tempo. I think Ole Miss can score to stay within this number, and I trust Beard to keep this thing within single digits here. Give me the Rebels, maybe even outright. I don't know if they can win outright in Alabama, but Alabama does lay one dud a year at home. They got Kentucky on deck. They're off the A&M primetime game. Kind of a tricky spot here, in my opinion, for the Tide. Mike?
Yeah, this is one I went back and forth on, but I kind of feel like Ole Miss lays a dud here. I know Chris Beard's a great coach, so I definitely would want to take him at 11.5. But for me, I just feel like this is the Ole Miss where they just don't get up for it. Kind of had it last year. I know that this is definitely a better team than they had last year, but they got drilled last year against all these big teams, and I think the number was 103 to 88 last year at home too for this game. So you're right about Ole Miss. If they want to be in this game, they got to minimize possessions and not let Alabama control the tempo, which is hard to do. So I'll lay the gross number with Alabama.
Yeah, I'm with Huff. I'm debating betting this game. I like Alabama in this one. They did just rebound Texas A&M too. So I mean that's something. They do play physical and dominate you on the glass. But you got Texas A&M coming off the wait a minute, I'm getting mixed up here. Yeah, never mind. You got Alabama here. I mean, they're at home. They're a wagon. They've been scoring like crazy. The rebounding has been much improved, and this spread just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I mean, it was at 9.5 and 12 with Chris Beard is a ton of points. I mean, kind of feels a little baity, like they want you to take these points. I think Alabama just kind of runs them out. They win by 16, 17 points or something down the stretch here. Just A&M just kind of runs out of gas and flails out here. It's my opinion. I'm real close to betting Alabama today.
All right, we disagree there. I'm going to skip Illinois, Indiana, and come back to it. I want to continue the SEC theme here because it kind of goes in theme. A&M going to Kentucky. This one is what, 6.5? This is the one I laid the points with. I think we see it where they get up without the star for a game, maybe even 2 games, but they're off. I mean, A&M's been playing physical game after physical game. Now they got to go to Rupp. Kentucky makes shots at a different clip in that building. I kind of think Kentucky opens it up, wins by like 15. You're muted.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on there, Mac. I like this Kentucky team, and this A&M team has been getting up for these games. Although I don't believe they covered the number against Bama. They still have been playing tough even without Wade Taylor, but that might have been their get up spot for energy wise. Going into Rupp, it's a whole new environment for them. And this game was awesome last year. I remember it was on like a Saturday at noon. Another 100-point game. So you got to think the over would be in play, but I'm staying away from totals, and because I just don't expect A&M to score as much as we think that they will. So give me Kentucky laying the points as well.
Yeah, this is where I got mixed up last game. Ole Miss and Texas A&M got them flip-flop. But, Kentucky at home. Pope likes to put on a show, especially as a former player and alum. He likes to just put on a show at home, let the people enjoy it, and just run teams out the gym. A&M, no Wade Taylor. It's got to affect you at some point. And then you just played Alabama last game. Now you're playing Kentucky again. Like, I think the pace at some point they're going to run out of gas in the second half here. And Kentucky just makes shots like crazy. And Kobe Bryant had a rough game last time out, so I don't think he's going to back that bad game up with another one at home, especially. So I like Kentucky probably by double digits here.
All in agreement. All right, real quick question. I just punched it in. Moneyline parlay for all the chalky fuckers out there. Auburn moneyline, Alabama moneyline, Kentucky moneyline, minus 105 right now. One of those is losing outright. All three of those are not going to win outright. Who is the dog that wins? I think it's Mississippi State. I think it's Mississippi State that goes in there off the home loss as a favorite, foxhole spot, and Jan's wills his team to a win in the jungle.
Yeah, it's one of those Mississippi teams. I don't feel good about A&M out of those three. So I'll agree with you on Mississippi State just because I laid it with Bama. I think this is a get-up spot, and Mississippi State trying to prove their worth here and that they can hang around the top of the tier of the SEC.
Yeah, with no Broom, got to say it's most likely Mississippi State. I wouldn't disagree with
They're not winning now. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't want to fade the jungle, like especially on the money line. I think maybe
one of them's winning. I'm telling you, one of those is winning outright.
You're right.
It's going to be them or A&M. I mean, A&M, Buzzsaw is a great coach. She'll have them ready to an extent. I just think they're going to run out of gas. I think it'll be tight. Second half, it starts to open up a little bit. But gun to my head, I would take Mississippi State too.
Ironically, it is three coaches you would love to get as a dog. Jans,
right.
Beard, and Buzz. They've all been really, really good. The problem is they're going against really good coaches too. Nate Oates, Bruce Pearl, and then Mark Pope's turning into a really good coach. So, all right, I just wanted to pose that one. That's why I wanted to group those. Let's go back to your game, Huff. The Hoosiers are taking on the Illini. The Hoosiers are going to win tonight. The Hoosiers play, for whatever reason, play Illinois well. Mike Woodson's kind of had Brad Underwood's number for whatever reason. I like the Hoosiers. I think that talent for talent, they're the more talented, maybe, or even roster, whatever you want to say. I think that Indiana can do a lot of same things that USC can do. Size, athletes, bother them with their switches. Give me the Hoosiers to get it done at home.
Oh, love hearing that, Mac. I'll take IU, and I just saw FanDuel and DraftKings move to 5.5. Give me that.
That means what's his name's playing then?
Yeah, I was just gonna say he's warming up.
Yeah, I can't say his name, but I'll butcher that. But yeah, he'll be playing. I almost took Ballo on boards over Owen Freeman, but I expect there's some foul trouble, especially with their 7-footer. That'll be a good matchup. And I like this IU team almost without Malik Renew in the lineup. I've been saying to play one big, and they tried it. They tested it with Renew starting and Ballo coming off the bench. Maybe even for some disciplinary actions, boozing at a bar over winter break. So, but they've been running smooth without this too big lineup, and that's what's been the curse for Mike Woodson. But Mac, you're right. Contrary to belief, Brad Underwood does not have IU's number, and it's a tough place to play. I will say they may be due for one because IU did go into Illinois and get a dub, but nah, Assembly Hall is going to be rocking. This is their first, I think, big game of the year for Assembly Hall too. So I expect a full crowd, absolutely fired up to go.
Yeah. Jakachunas is warming up. And a little side note, I did see Booker Trent does have Illinois money line in his money line lay tonight. So that's
you said Illinois, right?
Yeah, Illinois money line is in his
Indiana
5 leg. Yeah, so I would feel more comfortable with Indiana first half. I think Jakachunas maybe a little rusty early. IU that Assembly Hall is going to be rocking. But Woodson late in games against Underwood is kind of a scary proposition. But if I had to, I would take Indiana. I mean, like Huff said, Assembly is going to be rocking. They've been doing a lot better without Renew out there, and I don't think he's playing tonight. So I think they got a good chance. This is the best chance they're going to have. You're going to have a rusty Casper's playing, but he's going to be rusty. So this is their best chance to kind of jump out on the lead and try to maintain it here. And Ballo on the glass has just been a monster.
Malik Renew's in foul trouble every game too, so they're not fouling as much as they used to. And the Hoosiers can't make free throws either.
And when Wade Taylor comes back and Broom come back, I'm going to fade them the first game they're back too, because there's a difference between being in shape and then in basketball shape, and then you got to get your rotations back in order. I'm not saying that Illinois is worse that he's playing tonight, but I just think it takes a game here. I think they take it back-to-back L's, Hoosiers.
We saw that with Dylan Harper too. He played like 10 minutes and came back the next game and wasn't sharp. But last night, that second half, he clicked. He was on fire.
Well, and everybody always gets so eager to go bet the team when they get him back. I swear they lose way more than they win. So
yes.
Yeah, we're all saying the same thing. This game is fascinating. Georgetown, St. John's. I'm laying it with St. John's. I actually think St. John's going to open it up here. I think this is a bad matchup for Georgetown. I think those young bigs, they're good, but I think St. John's is fucking physical, and I think that they can bother those young bigs. And they got. I think they're tougher at the guard position too. And I do like Patino's team. If they can just make some jump shots, I think they win by 20. If they don't, I think it'll be a little sweaty, but I still think they just have been really good in the last 4 to 5 minutes of games, just because they're tough and they get stops and they rebound the ball. Give me the Johnnies at home to win by double digits here. Laying 9.5, 9. Shop around.
Yeah, I'd love this more if it was in Carnesca, but I don't know. Patino's been planning these games properly. So I like St. John's as well. I took that last night. Don't think that they'll be in this in the first half. They seem to let one half slip and then bounce back in the second half, kind of like an Iowa State team. So I think St. John's gets it done in the end and wins by 14.
Yeah, I like Georgetown first half if you had to play them. I think coming off the back-to-back max effort games against Marquette and UConn, and now you got to play St. John's all within a week, a 7-day stretch. It's got to catch up to you. And St. John's, that second half, they really just turn it on and make the adjustments and just lock you down in the second half. So I think St. John's probably gets it done, but you could probably get a better line at half, in my opinion, just because I think Georgetown will hang around for a half. And the turnover issues for Georgetown are really gonna shine tonight at some point. I mean, they turn it over a ton. St. John's turns you over a bunch, and I think it's gonna catch up to them, and St. John's will cover. But Davion Smith also may not play. I know we had talked about this last night. He did something with his shoulder. I don't know, Elliott, whatever the hell he said. Fucked up his shoulder. He may have popped it in and out. So I doubt he plays tonight either.
Looking forward to this game, Trev. You got your Badgers hosting Ohio State here. Lines at 6.5. Is it square to lay it with the Badgers?
No, you don't fade them at the Kohl Center. I mean, maybe this sounds entirely homer, what I'm going to say, but I mean, they got 5 guys on the floor that can shoot the 3 at all times. Crowell and Winter can step out. If the bigs follow them, then that just opens the pain for cuts and back doors. They don't mess around at home. I know they went down early, double digits to Minnesota. They won that game by 21 points. Ohio State hasn't really been too sharp. The Badgers are just a whole different monster at home. I'm not going to touch them on the West Coast trip away from the Kohl Center and hitting that weird travel spot. But I think they get this done by double digits tonight, and then maybe you could fade them on the road on this West Coast trip coming up. But I want no part of fading them while they're at home. And Klesmit might play, but even if he doesn't, I'm not too concerned.
And in honor of Cannabis Capper, I'll say co-sign that because I'd have to agree with you on the Kohl Center, and I don't trust this Ohio State team on the road, and I expect some issues going on in that team just overall, not just on the court either. So something's going on with that team.
This is every year with Ohio State where they hit the wall in January, and maybe they'll pop back up in February on a Sunday at home in Columbus. It'll be like Purdue or something. But yeah, I'm gonna fade Diebler at the Kohl Center. I'm not gonna overthink this. Next up, we got UCF, the Shiny Knights, going to Arizona State here. Arizona State is laying, is it what, 5.5 still? Oh, whoa, down to
3. Yeah.
UCF outright. UCF's been chippy as a dog, man. They stayed out there on the West Coast. No travel spot here at all. Practice in the gym already. These teams that have been out on the coast, catching points, have been really good in the second game of the 2-game road trip. I like the Shiny Knights to be chippy here and win and knock off the Sun Devils. In the Battle of Dookies, Dawkins versus Hurley. Give me the old man.
That is a good call. This UCF team has beat their expectations or exceeded their expectations, I should say, both years. Even though they got drilled by Kansas, that was expected because Kansas was coming out hot. But I think this UCF team will hang around. I did take Arizona State 4.5, so if I love it at 4.5, I guess I'd love it more at 3.5. But whatever. Reverse CLV. Let's get it done. And I took the Sun Devils on the Scottsdale trip. Also, maybe thinking that Central Florida was hanging around Arizona and partying a little too much in Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona State's some say the number 1 party school in America. So now you're going to be hanging out there for a little bit. That could catch up to you. But I like Arizona State in this one. I'm glad I forgot to bet it last night because I snagged -3 today. I think Arizona State's going to have an advantage in the paint here. UCF just came off that drilling at Kansas, and then you beat Colorado at home by 1 point. Colorado's not that great on the road. Now you just traveled on the road. You played Arizona, lost by 8. I think Arizona State coming off of that loss too, where they kind of had that game and then they blew it. They came right back in and then lost it in overtime. I think they're going to want this game bad. I think they're going to show up and get this done by 7 or 8 tonight. Jane Quainton's monster game coming.
There we go. This game's going to be fun. Baylor, Zona. First time in the Big 12 here in Tucson. I will lay it with Arizona. I think Baylor is really banged up. They're down to like 7 players right now. I think their defensive woes show back up here. Place is going to be on fire. They got rid of their sleepy spot Saturday against UCF. And Baylor's off an overtime game, as well as Arizona State. So I'll fade the short turn and lay with the Cats here at home in Tucson.
Yeah, I Benedict this one last night. I liked Baylor. I just couldn't bring myself to bet it with the injury news. But I'll go ahead and take Arizona just with that gross number. I'm not betting this game though. I just couldn't get a good feel on it with the injury news. But I expect Arizona, like you said, to get up based on that sleepy spot with UCF. And Caleb Love's got to be able to score some points for this Arizona team. So hopefully we just don't see this chucking, heaving crap from Arizona.
Yeah, shout out Elliott Money. He caught this last night. This is Caleb Love versus Jeremy Roach tonight in this one too. So we got little ACC battles going out on the West Coast tonight. But I'm on Baylor here. I like Baylor. I know they're down some couple of guys. Their size, they're not going to really have it to contend with Arizona down low with those 2 7-footers. But we saw Amir do this all last season in the ACC down low. I know a little bit different conference style of play, but he still held the zone down low. And then they got Ojunawana, or however you say it, down low. He's 6'10". He's been playing more since those injuries. So I think they're going to have some size down low to compete with that. Edgecombe has been really good. Jaden Nunn and Robert Wright have been good. Jeremy Roach. I know they're down guys. These guys have all showed up and still played well. I know they got blasted at Iowa State, but who doesn't go into Ames and get blasted? So I'm not going to really hold that one against them too much. So give me Baylor plus 5.5 here in this one.
All right. Let's go to chat. And we got a bunch of guys in here. So fire away any games that we have not touched. Shout out to the 150-plus watching right now. Smash that subscribe button so we can keep doing this more and more. Every night, 6 o'clock Eastern. A couple guys like St. Louis, Dusa and Matty Ice. I do not think they will win, but I do think St. Louis will cover. They've been a different team since getting healthy in league play. And that's too much respect, in my opinion, for the Siegel Center. So give me the Billikens here at home. I mean, on the road. Sorry.
What's more life-altering than a trip to Europe? The Siegel Center. I don't know. This line's been hanging there. Definitely, like when I saw it, I wanted to bet VCU because I just see that line, and it definitely smells, in my opinion. But they might be overcompensating the actual Siegel Center. But I think the St. Louis team is good. They're coming together. They got Avila back, and Swope's a dog, and Jimerson just had a lights out performance last game. So he's kind of a catalyst for them to be able to hang around and get those threes on the board for St. Louis. So I laid it with VCU just on the fade of the St. Louis team, and I think the weird number.
Yeah, I like St. Louis. It does feel like a big spread to where they can hang, and they've been playing really well. VCU, they played a slower pace too. So I mean, if they're not going to hit their shots, it's going to be tough to kind of pull away a little bit. But St. Louis has been playing well. Their defense has stepped up. I think in a slower pace game, I think they can hang in within single digits here. But that 10 does kind of feel a little trappy. And fading the Siegel Center is never any fun.
We got multiple people asking for this game. RuPaul taking on Marquette. Paul's covering tonight. Sleepy spot for Marquette, extended rest. They're not going to come out and smash DePaul. DePaul's going to hang in there tonight. They haven't covered a game yet in Big East play until tonight. Marquette trails in this game, comes back and wins it at the end by like 9.
Yeah, I picked this game. I didn't bet it. I don't love Shaka Smart laying that many points, but a total angle we took was Marquette's team total over in this game just due to DePaul's defense. I kind of agree. DePaul can hang around, still lose 81-71, 81-72 or something like that, and Marquette gets that team total done against DePaul's porous defense.
Yeah, I'm on the over 80.5 also. DePaul first half, I would feel much better than playing full game. I mean, we've seen these teams kind of hang around and then they just get blown out in the second half after adjustments. But you got, like you said, Marquette's going to be coming in a little rusty with some time off, so maybe they can hang in and bang some threes. But Marquette, they're going to force some turnovers. They get rebounds, especially when DePaul just jacks up threes. So you're going to turn it over, shoot threes, so long rebounds and runouts. I wouldn't feel great having DePaul in my pocket, but I would feel better about first half personally.
There you go. RuPaul. Syracuse. We already answered that one. We all liked Syracuse. Hunter, asking about Creighton. They like the dog. I don't like the dog. My neighbor's dog is going crazy right now. Shut the fuck up. Creighton's laying 9 here. I'm blaming with Creighton. Creighton's going to smash Providence. Providence, dog with fleas tonight in Omaha. I like the Blue Jays here.
Yeah, if that was my dog, I'd have to take Providence, but thank God it wasn't because I don't want to take Providence. They're quitting on English. They're quitting on this team. This team that they got up for the UConn game, but they're all out of energy. They'll be out of cahoots. Creighton, they beat up on these little lowly teams in the Big East, and then they shit the bed versus the big teams.
Yeah, I mean, Providence, their offense has been really good lately. I mean, you put up 91, 84, and 84 in their last 3, but now they're catching 9 on the road. That kind of feels like it's just telling you they're going to struggle. This might just be the game Creighton just hits 15 threes or whatever, like they randomly do at home at times. So I like Creighton. I didn't bet it, but I've been staring at it all day. I think they win by like 15 or so here. They just kind of run them out the gym.
Yeah, and Creighton can't play with their food, man. They're on the outside looking in. This isn't like a sleepy spot. They're sleepy spotted out. Like they can't they need it. Winning margin matters for them with the net ranking. So yeah, I'm with you. Soak BYU 13.5. Yeah, I think BYU lays. I think they beat the shit out of Oklahoma State tonight. They're a front runner program. They're soft, but they can make their cha-cha-cha threes at home.
Yeah, I said this last night. I like BYU 13.5, and they don't cover this number. I'm not betting them for quite some time because I have bet them too many times and have let me down. But this is also a fate of the Oklahoma State team as well.
Yeah, pure fate of Oklahoma State. I mean, you got BYU off 3 losses, Houston, Texas Tech, and then so 2 teams that'll beat the shit out of you, and then TCU. They just kind of didn't have it going. But now you're back home. You get Oklahoma State, who they just got drilled by Utah, who is pretty ass. So you got that angle, and Oklahoma State's offense just is ugly to watch. So I mean, they could score 55, 60 points and still lose by 20 in this one, I think. So I'm on BYU also tonight by the 13.5.
This game's popular in the chat right now. ECU North Texas, and not just because of Colby. This line stinks, man. 3? I mean, I love North Texas here, but I think the line is telling that it's going to be an ECU spot. ECU actually, now that we can have like an unbiased like conversation with Colby not here, they're not bad at home. They're not bad at home, and they've played a close game after close game at home. FAU, would they lose by 2? Temple, they beat by 1. This feels like a one-possession game. If not, I think that they can actually win the game. Defensive team versus defensive team, physicality. Give me ECU, man. Getting 3 here.
Go ahead, Trevor.
Yeah, I like North Texas last night. I just throughout the day just haven't really gotten a solid feel enough to bet it. But North Texas defense is far better in my opinion. But the line is just sitting there at 3, kind of just begging you to take North Texas in my opinion. Yeah. So I'm going to lay off. If I had to bet it, I would take North Texas just because I like their defense more. And I've seen ECU struggle at the free throw line this year to where that could really bite them in the ass late potentially. So no play. I would take North Texas, but this line is kind of disgusting to lay a 3 on for the road team here.
I'll co-sign that, Trevor, and echo your sentiments. And if East Carolina starts down 20, they'll be right back in that game somehow on these random comebacks that they have. So, but I don't expect that. There's gonna be no points, which makes me not love the North UNT, just because I don't expect a lot of points in this game due to pace and then defensive styles of plays. So I even like the gross hold your nose under in this.
Rob Donaldson in the chat. Georgia Tech live. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the Clemson sleepy spot. We've seen this over and over under Brownell. Georgia Tech's been good at home in league play.
Yeah, they show up at home, and I believe Shefflin is out or he's like sick or something. I heard something about him. So
they get the bug.
Yeah, that's why that line was so low and nasty. I mean, it's moved up 1 point since last night, and everyone and their brother's going to be betting Clemson tonight in a short spot against a bad Georgia Tech team. So I would lean with Georgia Tech or sway with Georgia Tech, but I've got no real feel in this. I just don't feel good betting Clemson in this spot tonight, especially if Shefflin's going to be out or not 100%.
Yeah, I stayed away from it. I can't put my cheddar on Georgia Tech right now. One of those like Boston College type teams for me, but the spot's totally telling you it's a Georgia Tech show out, and like you said, we've seen Brunell do this year after year.
You want to know a team everybody's out on? Arkansas wins tonight. Arkansas beats LSU. LSU sucks. Arkansas may have played the hardest strength of schedule so far in the SEC. They're not as bad as their 0-3 record. If they could just make some goddamn free throw shots, they could have stayed within that Florida number. I love Arkansas tonight in Baton Rouge. I think this is it for Matt McMahon today or this year.
You're definitely right about it for Matt McMahon. I took LSU just basing just my dislike for Arkansas right now and what I've seen. So I took LSU, but both teams suck. in my opinion. So you probably got to go with the better coach there. But go Tigers.
Yeah, I bet LSU tonight on the money line. I don't like this Arkansas team. One, Cal sucks. Two, he's ruining John L. Davis. Just screwing that guy over.
Cal does suck.
He's terrible. And Arkansas's been in these like sharp spots for a minute now, and they just haven't come through. Now you're going to be a short road favorite, and you shoot 65% from the line in conference play versus 80% for LSU. So I think the free throws come back and bite Arkansas at some point in this game. So I took LSU on the money line tonight at home.
As the Juice said, one more time, Calipari, one more time, giving you one more chance that you don't go 0-4 against LSU, maybe the worst team in the league. Rob loves USC against his Hawkeyes. I agree. I co-sign. Musselman does this all the time in league play. They suck ass in November, December, mid-January. They find their stride. I think USC is going to be chippy coming down the stretch here in Big Ten play.
Rob knows Iowa hoops. I liked USC last night. Again, I took them on the short spread and think they totally get this done. And USC randomly starts making maybe even a little run after their big get-up win against Illinois. You'd expect a hangover spot maybe, but I don't think Iowa's style of play can match up well here on the road.
Yeah, USC plays better defense than Iowa, which Iowa plays zero defense. So it's going to be easier for USC to get some stops here. And I believe Elliott knows this last night, but Iowa's team total is 80.5. They've scored 80 or more in all but 3 games this year, and it was juiced under. So I feel like it's kind of telling you that they're going to struggle on the road here, especially in a new environment. And you got USC coming off of a big win. Maybe it's not the best spot to back them off the big Illinois win, but I think they build on it, and you get a team that doesn't play defense. So they should be able to get their groove offensively going tonight. So I'm with them. I think they smoke them.
Another friends matchup here. K-State, Texas Tech, Tang versus McCaslin. Both were assistants under Scott Drew at Baylor for a decade of their lives. They know each other. I agree with Rob. I think K-State's live to win tonight.
Yeah, I didn't bet this, but definitely agree. Another weird spot here. K-State comes out hot, and this is one where Coleman Hawkins drills those threes. And if you're a Texas Tech fan, you just dislike Coleman Hawkins. So get up spot for K-State off of a tough OT game at Texas Tech.
Yeah, I really wish Texas Tech would have won that game on Saturday, because I was going to be all over Kansas State tonight. But I like McCaslin more than Tang, so I like Texas Tech here. I couldn't get myself to bet it just because that was a max effort game, and you went to overtime, and it was tight all the way to the end. But Helms, he was talking about this earlier. I don't hate an under in this game just because they both know each other. And Texas Tech's a defensive team, Kansas State, and you're playing Kansas State on the road. Could be a lower scoring game, but I can't bet totals because they're just cursed whenever I bet them. So I like the under in Texas Tech in this one.
All right, 3 more Mountain West games, and we got to get out of here. Capper asked about San Diego State, Colorado State. This line's actually come down. I agree with Kane, though. I'm on the Aztecs, bouncing back at home. Sell high spot here, in my opinion, for Colorado State going out west. Muted.
Classic. I'm with you on Colorado or on San Diego State against Colorado State. I expect Colorado State, even though they've been playing well, they get a little sleepy. Dutcher's going to get the Aztecs up for this game, and he wants to see a 15-point victory for this one at minimum. So I'll take that CLV all day on the Rams. So yeah, give me the Aztecs 6.5.
Yeah, I like Colorado State in this one. They've been playing really well, and I believe San Diego State had like some stomach bug or something going around. I think I heard. I could be wrong, mixing it up with team, but I know they just came off of an ass whipping at New Mexico. But the game prior, Air Force was up like 15-20 on them. They just ended up not hitting a single shot for like an hour in that game, and just ended up smoking them. So that game, I don't think was as much of a blowout as it was. Obviously, San Diego State was going to come back and win, but by 30. I mean, they got lucky that Air Force missed for 45 minutes straight. Couldn't hit anything. So I like Colorado State here. Didn't bet it, but I think they can keep it within the number here. San Diego State also, their offenses kind of can go cold at sometimes.
Don't even get me started on Air Force. Let's pick Air Force. Nevada's going to win by 40 tonight. This is a take all your frustrations out on Alfred Stomp Spot.
Yeah, I'm not betting on Air Force, so I guess I'd have to bet Nevada. But laying points with Alfred's always fun, right?
Yeah, I bet Air Force too many times this year. They're fucking horrendous. Respect the troops, but they're fucking horrendous. So give me Nevada. I'm with you. They probably win by 30 points at least. It's just they're up 35 with 5 minutes left. Bench warmers come in and just, they win this game by 28 or something.
Last one here, New Mexico, San Jose State. This one's going to be a fun one late. San Jose, 10 miles, getting 10 at home. Yes, please, all day.
Yeah, this is the dog that I like in the Mountain West. I like San Jose State. That court's always tough, too. And New Mexico's, won 6-7 in a row. They're super hot right now to start Mountain West play. They still probably maybe win the game, but 9.5 is too much points. Yeah, I'll take the Sparty.
Yeah, I like San Jose State in this one, too. This is just a terrible sandwich spot for New Mexico also. Big San Diego State win. You hit the road to San Jose State where there's going to be absolutely nobody in the gym. Nobody shows up there. I think you can count 30 total people, and that's including the scorer's desk and the players. So it's always dead. And then you go home to Boise for an awesome Friday night game. So I think they just kind of go through the motions here, win this game by 8 or 9. That's how I kind of see this one going here in this one. They also foul a lot too, so they could give away some free points in this one.
The final segment, best bets. What's your favorite play of the night, Huff?
Muted.
I'm muted again. You got to work on that. Trevor, I won't let you do it just because you're the fan. I'll take whiskey at the Kohl Center. I like whiskey, and I fade this Ohio State team. I was going back and forth between them, and I actually really like Arizona State tonight and USC as well.
Yeah, my favorite play is BYU. 3 straight losses. You coming home and you get an inept offensive team. They're going to win this game by like 20 points. No problem.
Mine's gross. K-State. I'll go back to the well here. Keep it within 7 against Texas Tech. We get a nice grinded out Big 12 game. Give me the Wildcats. Dog parlay here. Let's fire away. Who do we want for our first dog, Huff?
Do I dare say it? Give me the Hoosiers outright tonight against Illinois on the double fandom. It even just went up. It was sitting around plus 150 on the money line. Now at that 5.5, they're sitting at plus 200, plus 205.
Trev?
Got
2 minutes for people to put it in. Let's see if we can get it all.
My dog, I'm going to go with I'll just alt Wisconsin, whatever they are, minus 9.5. I think they're going to beat Ohio State by double digits here. In this one tonight, so I'll take them minus 9.5. I'm gonna see.
That's cheating. That's cheating, bro.
All right, then give me Baylor. I'll take an actual dog. That's fine. I'll take Baylor on the money line.
Okay, Baylor. Where's Baylor at? Baylor's down here. For mine, let's go with San Jose State. Outright over New Mexico. Undefeated no more. Tim Miles knocks off an unbeaten. 41-1. Indiana, Baylor, San Jose. Let's go. That does it. Game tip in 1 minute. Xavier and Villanova tied 18 all early. Let's go X-Men. That'll do it for the college basketball experience pregame show. Check out the Pump Fake Pod. They're going live tonight as well, so make sure you get your notifications turned on. He's at Sully Picks. He's at Michael_Huffer, _Huffer3. I'm at Moneyline_Mac. We'll see you in a couple hours for Wednesday's loaded card, Kansas and Iowa State tomorrow. And we are out of here.